Hey, vinyl community, and welcome YouTubers from everywhere. You got those summer doldrums? You've gotten burned out a little bit on the vinyl community, on collecting records, listening to music. You're thinking about maybe just going over to the pool or something instead. And what's for dinner? Here's what's for dinner. But I got a cure for those summer doldrums, and I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to show a couple records here, give a couple shout outs, and give you a few tips that I have just learned. So stay tuned for the cure. Yes, I watched a vinyl community video earlier today, and it got rid of my summer doldrums. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it here. My buddy Bob Bradley did a video that's what it's all about in the vinyl community, about record collecting and about listening to music. This was the kind of video that was just inspiring. I got up off of my duff. I cleaned some records I'm going to show you. I listened to them. I did some comparison, and I got all excited about record collecting again. Besides watching the rest of this, I'm going to leave a link down below for that special video that Bob did with a local music record collector, music person. One of the records they showed and talked about that Bob had just picked up, a nearly mint copy, was this record, ZZ Top, Tres Hombre. We don't hear too much about them in the VC, but a little bit on London Records, and they were discussing this record, of how great it sounded, and a little knowledge, a little information. The name of one of the tunes on the record label was misspelled, La Chance, I forget what the actual thing was, instead of La Grange, I think. Well, I got the record out. Mine has the misspelling. That means it's a real early press because they corrected that later on. And then they were talking about that this is just a great sounding record. Sonically, we're talking about. And musically, it's outstanding. I'm going to say, I've got other ZZ Top records, but I'm going to say this one is essential. It's probably one of the best. Gatefold, what we're having for dinner there. You saw that video. And I'm trying out these new crystal clear sleeves with the sleeve where you slide the record in on back, and that's one of the little tips I want to give here today. This record is outstanding musically, and the sonics are just outstanding. My jacket's VG, I suppose. It shows a little shelf wear, but the record is just near mint and sounds fantastic. And this is about a $50 record now. Yeah, you can pick up ZZ Top stuff like this for not much money, but to get the really early press in good condition, those are a lot more scarce. And these sleeves, I'm happy with these sleeves. These are vinyl storage solutions. I heard about them from B-Side Records, our friend Beth. So I ordered them, and of course, you know, we're American. I'm an American. Bigger, better, more power has to be better, doesn't it? Sure. No, well, not always. So I got the 4 mil. What do I want those little thin ones for? Well, I'm using 2 of those things to put them on the gatefold, and they start bunching up a little bit in the corner. When you put a 4 mil on each side, you end up with 8 mil total. That's just a little too much. They did send me 2 of the 2 mils as samples, and so I can see that if you're going to put 2 of them on a gatefold, you probably want the 2 mil. That's going to be more than enough. And then just the single records, I go for the 4 mil, and I like storing my records like this anyway. I recommend these. They're about 50 cents a piece. You order them online from Canada, and free shipping, and at the very least you should get a package and try them. I've had my package laying around here for a week or two, and I just got around this whole situation today, got me motivated to get up and do something. I opened the package, I got the sleeves out, I started playing with them. I got another tip for you. You need to listen to your records before you go buy some more. One of the records Bob showed here a while back, Rio Grande Mud ZZ Top. Now this is a real early press on the London label. Jacket not so good on this one. Used to own by Cindy. She should have took better care of them. Maybe not quite VG jacket, and I think the record is VG plus. And I got this record, and I checked it out online, and I knew I wanted this, and didn't look too good. I need a better copy. So I noticed just last year this record was reissued here on the colored vinyl. The vinyl is kind of a muddy color with a little marbling. I'm not going to take it out. It's kind of ugly. This was a Rhino reissue, remastered by Bernie Grunman, pressed at RTI. Generally speaking, doesn't get any better than that. And so I just ordered this record, and well, with all the excitement that I got going today, I got this record out and played it. It sounds very good. I wonder if maybe it wasn't cut from a digital master. I don't know. And they didn't mention, I couldn't find any place where it mentioned from the original tapes. Remastered and pressed. Just a good record. I'm happy to have it. So I got out the one I had earlier here that doesn't look so good, and I cleaned this thing up and I put it on the turntable. This record sounds better. Sonically, it's better. And even though this record's had a little use, a real early press, sometimes the early presses sound better, sometimes they don't. It's generally been my experience when these guys get the original tapes, do all analog remaster and press at RTI, they almost always sound better than the original presses. In this case, the original press sounds better. That's just a really enjoyable record. So you can't just look at them, you have to listen to them. I'm going to give another little shout out here. One of the old timers in the vinyl community, Rockin' Ronnie, Ron Beaudry. He's back. Now, he's made a ton of videos in the last 3 weeks, so most of you probably know he's back, but some of you maybe don't know he's back, and he's got a fantastic collection and been doing it for a long time, and all the kind of classic rock stuff that he likes. He's had practically every version issued on most of these, because how do you tell which one sounds the best? You have to listen to them, and you have to compare one to another. So here, I went out and bought a new copy of this. My old copy sounds better. Of course, I wouldn't have known that if I didn't have the two to listen to. So Ron Beaudry, check out his channel. He's back if you haven't. Okay, wrap it up here. Show one more record and one more tip. I've shown this record before, didn't say much about it. This new record, 2019, Billy Gibbons, The Big Bad Blues. A little more old-time bluesy on this record than the ZZ Top kind of stuff. This record is outstanding. Going to be in my year-end top records this year. So if you like Billy Gibbons and ZZ Top, inexpensive record, sounds great, pick it up. Last tip, a lot of you use those MoFi inner sleeves, and they are excellent, because that's 40 cents a piece. Well, here's the same thing. I think they're identical. Quality record pressings with the QRP logo. Now, I don't know that you can order MoFis in quantity, but from acousticsounds.com, you can order these in pretty much any quantity you want, and the more you order, the cheaper the price gets. So if you're going to use a lot of these, my most recent box from acousticsounds.com, I bought a box of 500. Because I had went through several of the boxes of 250 each, and if you have a good record and it's worth cleaning up and taking care of, it's worth putting in a good inner sleeve, particularly after you clean them. And if you clean a record and put it back in one of them old paper sleeves, practically wasn't much point to clean them in the first place. Keep them spinning, and hi-yo silver!